What is going on? Happy Saturday morning. Of course, I am filming this on Friday. I'm working today. I'm making lead generation content for my real estate business. But I wanted to make a video, something a little bit different. I didn't want to do another bike roast. I didn't want to do another edit reaction. I like to mix it up every Saturday. And if you don't know, I do 2023 modern day real-time uploads every Saturday at 10 a.m. So if you're a former fan or sick of the re-uploads, stick around for every Saturday. So I thought today would be a fun little video just talking about my best memory on BMX. Now this is a hard one, and I was going to try to write a little bit script, so I didn't think of anything, but I think if I just came from the heart and just told you about my best memory, it's going to be hard because I have a lot of really good memories in BMX. Most of my best memories in my brain, period, aside from, vacations and crazy stuff like that, it is BMX, and it was most of my life. But when I think of the best time in BMX, it didn't really take long for it to just instantly hit. And I don't want to have too big of a window. We'll just get into it, but before we do, if you want some free bike part money, stick around for today's sponsor because they're handing out sign-up bonuses like crazy, and you can literally just cash out and go buy the bike part or whatever you want. Anyway, it's Webull, my favorite free online stock brokerage. Listen, all you got to do is just click the link in my description, create an account, fund that account with as little as 1 cent. They're going to put 6 free stocks in your bank account after a couple days once all your information is verified and they know you're not a terrorist or a cyber criminal. Anyway, just do that. Get the free money. It helps me, helps you. US only and 18 plus. And you can't do it on yours, just use your parents. It doesn't matter. It's all free money. Anyway, my best memory is in Austin, Texas, when I went with best friends Dylan Ashlock, my other buddy Ben, who I haven't talked to in a while, and Devin Anderson. So essentially we drove from Kansas City up to Austin, Texas, and stayed downtown in a red roof. It was fine, I guess. In downtown Austin, Texas, near House Park, and we stayed there for a week and rode BMX. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of highlights, but then I'm going to talk about the actual one of my best memories in BMX, period. So it was really cool. We rode House Park every morning and every evening. We rode some of the best, most famous street spots, some of my favorite edits like Stevie Churchill. I went to go see some of my favorite clips from some of my favorite edits. We had a tour guide, Jamie Barnhart, who now I'm really good friends with, and he gave us a phenomenal tour, and that's where I met him. So, of course, riding BMX in Austin, Texas is obviously going to be a great memory, but it's not just that. One, we got to hang out with some pros. I remember we hung out with Travis Hughes, but specifically Brett Silva. I wouldn't consider myself friends with him. We didn't really communicate that much because I was so busy vlogging. It seems kind of ass backwards because you'd think I'd want to get in with a pro, but it just wasn't my mindset. He was a really cool guy, and he was so fun to watch in person. I was just so focused on just kind of filming and having a good time and hanging out and talking with everybody and just shooting the shit. Well, we ended up going to Shake Shack. We rode in the back of, I think, his truck or his buddy's truck, and we all went out to dinner together, which was pretty fun at Shake Shack downtown Austin. It's fun. But that's not the best memory in BMX. No. The best memory in BMX is another day on this trip. So essentially what we did, I think this might have actually been night one. We got there and it was dark, and it was on the weekend, and it was full of people. Downtown was packed full of bars. There was rickshaws going everywhere. And I was pretty overwhelmed because the biggest city I had really been to, well, that's not true. I've been to some really big cities, but the biggest city I ever rode BMX in was Kansas City. So I was pretty overwhelmed pretty quickly, but shocked at how clean and awesome and how many spots were in Austin, Texas. I was actually bombing this hill in the bar district where it was completely gated off and no cars were allowed in there. And I ran into the side of a rickshaw, little go-kart drunk person hauler machine, and fucking slammed into it, kind of fell off my bike a little bit and kept going, got yelled at. I actually have my vlogs on this channel of Austin, Texas. It's so much fun. We were riding our bikes as fast as we can in mass crowds of closed off intersections, people going through bars and stuff on the weekend and just swerving and doing crazy shit. And that was a lot of fun. And just your first night, you're completely overstimulated. There's nothing but neon lights around, and you can hardly see, and you're just weaving in and out, hitting people, screaming, doing fucking crazy shit. My friend Ben literally did the thing where he surfed on it, where you got your foot on the crossbar and your foot on the seat, just going in between people, hitting shit. It was fucking wild. No. It was the end of that first night. Because what we did is we ended up grabbing some beer and we went down to this lake. It's just or not a lake, it was a big river in Austin, Texas. Now, I never did tell this story and I never really showed it because, well, back then my audience was a lot of kids, but the loyal fans who were kids are grown up now. And I feel like I just attract a little bit more of an older audience as I grow up and mature because, you know, a different demographic relates to me. So, of course, now we talk about marijuana because it's fun. It's a passion of mine. And I made this little jerry-rigged device to hold all of my carts. I've actually got a cart and a pin over there charging right now. But so long story, I'm pretty proud of this. This is fucking ridiculous. It's just an iPhone box, but these carts, because of relationship reasons, she doesn't let me combust anything. So basically I am a cart connoisseur and gummy connoisseur. Anyway, so we went down to this river and we were drinking some beers and I didn't really smoke a whole lot of weed back then. I'm trying to remember. I went through phases where I would just smoke a bunch, then not smoke a bunch, but I was really trying to make a name for myself in the BMX industry. So I just like to stay sober and really just focus and keep myself in peak condition. And now that I don't, of course, I smoke a lot more weed. But I was smoking weed back then. And I remember I hit a one-hitter. Now, I, to this day, hate one-hitters because, well, it doesn't have enough fucking weed in it. Anyway, so I hit a one-hitter, and it was not like Delta 8 or any of that bullshit. This is actually Delta 8. It works really well for anxiety if you don't want to get baked, which, you know, most of the time you want to get baked, but when we're dealing multi-million-dollar deals, you don't want to have red eyes and fucking slurring your words and shit. Anyway, there's time and place for that, which is every night. So I take a hit off of this one hitter, and you probably remember your first toke of marijuana. Now, I'm not promoting marijuana, but I'm not anti-marijuana like everybody thought I was my entire BMX career, which is fine. I just didn't want to promote it to kids, but I think that's not a problem anymore, especially because it's legal here in my state. Anyway, in Delta 8, you can get basically everywhere. But I took a hit off this one hitter, and if you remember your first hit of weed, you are fucking fried. Now, this wasn't my first hit of weed, but I would smoke like once a month, maybe more than that. And I've got this system down where I can reset my tolerance almost daily. So, I mean, I didn't fucking... But what I'm trying to say is I got so fucking blazed. And usually that would have freaked me out, but we literally instantly smoked it and then packed up, left the river, finished our beers, and we're down to bombing more Austin, Texas downtown. They're not really like big hills, but you know, there's like a steep hill through like the bar. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, we were going fast as shit, swerving in and out of people and traffic and construction zones and hitting spots. And it was so hard to explain. The closest thing I could explain to it was being this high and driving through that is it felt fake. It felt like I was like in a movie, like almost, I don't know how to explain it. It's sometimes when people describe like being really high on weed, it just sounds ridiculous, but it was hard to explain. I was disassociated. I was like almost I didn't have an out-of-body experience. I've never had that on marijuana, but I just kind of felt like I was watching myself on TV kind of doing. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, it was surreal. Everything seemed fake. It was like I was in a fake world, like a fake little bubble, like the Truman Show, that movie with Jim Carrey, and it was just insane. I felt like I couldn't miss. I was so in tune with everything. I was going fast as shit. I was doing little rail rides and grinding and swerving and laughing and talking to my friends and just going buck wild in the middle of the night when everybody's leaving the bars in Austin, Texas. And it was just gorgeous. There was lights. It was a beautiful summer evening. It was nice and hot and, you know, going through all downtown and hitting these spots. And that was probably my favorite time on a BMX bike, is just being high as fuck in a brand new place, completely overstimulated, going 20 miles an hour through just, I mean, mountains of people and cars and little go-karts and all sorts of crazy shit. Normally, thinking about it now, that sounds like a nightmare, and in hindsight, I shouldn't have done it, but luckily that was one of the times back when I didn't smoke and I was kind of more immature and I didn't really know how to handle my substances, so usually I would have had a panic attack, but that is probably one of my best memories. And then going and riding famous spots, just blaze and having a good time and a nice summer evening in Austin, Texas, one of the best places on the planet to ride bikes. And I was with all my best friends and I was vlogging and making money, doing it and doing what I love. And that was probably like one of the peak moments for me. Would I say it was a peak moment without the marijuana? I would say yes. Even if I was stone cold sober, I would have enjoyed it just as much because I was basically sober the rest of the trip. We had similar situations that were almost just as fun. But it's the fact that you were in an altered state of mind and it felt like I was in a play world, a feeling I probably will never get again doing that because, well, I don't have the coordination these days to do the things that I was doing on that bike at that time, even when I was impaired. But I'm not the kind of person that kind of gets sloppy. I get more precise when I'm high, right? So I can go between cars. I can do tricks better. I'm more in tune with everything. And I'm better on a bike when I'm high, believe it or not. So that it was not a problem for me, even though it should have been. And I didn't know if it was going to be a problem or not. I just hit it because I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm stupid. I'm a kid. I'm in Texas. And let's fuck. So that was my favorite memory, is just my first night in Austin, Texas, getting to experience it, hanging out with the pros, riding some of the best parks and doing some of my best tricks, making money on YouTube. And that was just complete natural euphoria. Well, I guess the marijuana would, but excluding the marijuana. I just added that because it's an extra layer of enjoyment. All right. So anyway, guys, get to free money with Weeble. Get those free bike parts. Let me know, please let me know in the comments below your favorite memory on a BMX bike, because as much as we love it, it's important to appreciate our past and just realize how much fun we had on our bikes as a kid when it was brand new to us. I mean, it wasn't brand new to me, but you know what I mean. Anyway, guys, I will see you I'll see you tomorrow if you want to watch a re-upload, but I'll see you in a new 2023 video next Saturday.